Welcome to the Mangrove Community, strengthening the community one branch at a time. For more information about the community or how to volunteer, please visit mangrovecommunity.org.
Blessings, peace and blessings to everyone out there. We're back with another episode of Mangrove Presents Reasonable Doubt. Man, been a lot going on. I know it's been a minute. We got some very special guests here today. We have Jennifer listening in, and we have Tony from the Jen and Tony Show. They like to talk about love and relationships, and they touched on a lot of interesting topics and subjects. So I wanted to bring Tony on today to just give us his perspective on things, where we stand today, things we maybe can do to prepare, because it's bigger than, I feel like it's bigger than what we're realizing at this particular moment. What's going on in today's society with the climate, political climate, the racial climate, and things like that. I feel like a lot of people are focused on that, but at the end of the day, it's bigger than that. So how you doing, Tony?
I want to make sure that you can hear me good.
You're breaking up just a little bit.
Okay. Let me make sure y'all can hear me pretty good. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Get in a good area. How about that? Can you hear me pretty good?
Yeah, that's clear right there.
Okay. All right. And I'll make sure I zoom in on you. But 1 second. Okay. We'll go. Yeah, I'm doing good, Cole. Appreciate you for having me on. We got Jaybird listening in. She's not able to listen in, due to her phone not acting, properly at the time, but she is on there. We know from the Jen Tony Show for our people, and I think Jennifer is sharing. Hopefully, she's sharing, Cole. But Paul, I wanted to come on. I'm glad you had me come on because I wanted to speak on the preparation, and my whole thought was going to be based on insurance. Like people have insurance for for the death benefit issue. You have insurance for your car. You have all these different type of insurances. So what me and Jennifer do, we also have insurance for other purposes, for economy issues. So that's what I wanted to base it around. Basically, have insurance. You see, you could look around. Everybody know that the world changed. We're in year zero. I always tell everybody, welcome to year zero. That means everything that. Say it again.
I say the beginning, huh?
Yeah, we in the beginning. So, and with that beginning, it can be good changes if you prepare with that particular insurance. And I'm gonna make sure you hear me, Paul, because I want to make sure I'm clear so that you hear everything that I'm saying.
We can hear you just fine, but I'm interested to know, because you already touched on a few things when you say life insurance. So you named the life insurance, car insurance, and things like that. What other type of insurances would you advise people to invest in?
Just basically overall, some form of in-house insurance where you have things that make you feel comfortable. Basically, I can't tell you how to prepare for that particular insurance. Basically, the things that you need. I basically like cold ice with my tea. So, in that preparation, I would get an ice machine. 2 ice machines, to come with that ice tray or whatever happened. So I can't tell you how to prepare for your, that particular insurance, but I can tell you if you want to get that insurance, you need to make moves of preparation to get that insurance now.
Gotcha. because it may be a time down the line where those type of things may not be easily accessible.
Right. And we could use bicycles, for example. Right now it's hard to get a bicycle. For some people it may be easy, but other people it's hard to get a bicycle. And so those things there, if you had that life insurance, that particular insurance, you would have protected yourself way back then to always make sure kids have bikes that's up to date, patches, inner tubes, things like that. So that's one of the things that a lot of people didn't have that in-home insurance for, was bicycles and also gym equipment and things like that. So that's the type of insurance that people need, because we live in a time where things, it's not easy. It's not easy to just reach out and touch those things. Like I have a sister working Target, and she said, "Tony, we don't have bikes." My sister's been there for 25 years at Target, and she called and we was discussing bikes, and she said, as soon as if we do get it, they leave just like that.
Wow.
Because you have the ones that go inside Target and purchase, and then you have online that purchase online.
Right. So, and you're right, because before pre-COVID, we would have never imagined that it would be so hard to get a bicycle or come across a bicycle like that. So that's a great example. And I guess what people need to be thoughtful and mindful of is things could possibly get worse before they get better. So like you say, the things that make you comfortable are things that you may need to invest in at this time. So if it comes a time where you can't easily assess them, or, even with COVID, that stopped gym memberships and things like that. So that touched on what you said with the weight equipment, the workout equipment to make yourself comfortable in your own home during times like this. Can you hear me, Tony?
Yeah, it may be my internet. Sorry about that. My internet doing that, but yeah. So if y'all hear me, I'll go ahead and continue to talk. But yeah, those are some of the small things that just weeks and months ago we were able to go get a bicycle. Any of the other places. And, basically, I believe we basically passed them up. And now. Okay, I'm breaking up. Okay, y'all, hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Let me just move back for a second. Get a good play. Okay, let's see if we can go in there. Can you hear me, Cole?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, just a matter of a couple of months ago, it was we took for granted bicycles. I remember going into Walmart to see tons of bicycles and thinking about purchasing one, would never be, but fortunately we had family members that was able to give us bicycles so we could do those activities that we took for granted, because we took it for granted. Me and my family, we took it for granted. We really took that for granted. Just having that bicycle sitting in the yard, we took it for granted. If I could think about anything else, just being able to go into the grocery store and purchase things for a meal. I've had calls where people were saying that, it's getting harder to just prepare a meal because there's things that's not available. It may be available in day area, but certain areas it's not available.
Right. And you're absolutely right, because, and just to go back to the bikes for a second, my wife and I were talking about that last night, because they all have bikes, but I never got mine. And now it was a perfect time where we would love to go ride as a family, but I don't have a bike, so I have to find a way to get one. And then, like you said, with the food, I know there are certain stores in the Houston area that I visit, and the quantities are limited, or it may not be there at all. But then I go to other sides of town and everything's plentiful. So yeah, I'm paying attention to the trends and the data that's being put out,
for that particular hunt, it's basically a hunt to do, things that we took advantage of just a couple of months ago. We really took advantage of those things. And so we of course, we've been shaken up, and now, of course, we wish that life would be the same, but maybe it's for the greater, it's for the better,
Right.
and so I'm looking forward for the future year zero, year one. I don't know how that's gonna go, how we're gonna create it, but sooner or later, we're gonna have to come to the realization that we're in year zero.
Right.
Academia has been stopped. If we took those things for granted, people took a lot of things for granted, and just in a mere 3 months ago, we were functioning at a normal life.
Right.
So I'm trying to think of other things, just the bicycle, the exercise equipment, all those things. One thing I will touch on, I got a 95%
Hold on, we're losing. Y'all want to make sure we get this information. You're breaking up on us.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just move around because I'm in an area that my phone will not work with. Just give me 2 seconds right quick.
No, you good. You good. And I'm starting to hear you better already.
Okay, let me just move in a good area. So this area does not like my phone, period. Okay. All right, now we should be good.
No, you good. You good.
Okay, sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, so we go back to the things that we took for granted. We took for granted the dentist's office. We took for granted the grocery stores, and you and probably millions of other people, watch the fights in the stores and stuff like that. To me,
Right.
that led up to our great awakening. That can't keep going on. And so our creator, I believe our creator basically got mad like a father and pretty much shook us up and said, you all need to appreciate each other and appreciate the things that we have.
And it seemed like, and that seems spot on right there, man. I could totally agree with that, because everyone is being put in a position to have the tough conversations and find a common ground and find that balance between one another. So I definitely can understand that thought. And that's what I'm saying when I think it's something bigger that's going on, because, not too many people are talking about the spiritual realm that's going on with all of this. And like you say, the creator, our father, he's mad and he's chastising his children like a father would do to a son. And again, there are things that were plentiful that are not anymore. And we look at the economy, like the way that the economy is moving as well. What you have any thoughts on how people can prepare economically? The value of the dollar is dropping every day.
Right. We of course, man, you talk about that. I'm gonna keep them to a minimum because a lot of people, what we would call, wasn't awake, and so not being awakened, that you took for granted that tomorrow you may not be here tomorrow, but you took for granted that day that you didn't have. And so for that, I think a lot of people are gonna be in the suffering part, but actually it'll be actually better. A lot of people want hot water. When they want hot water, they want their houses, their cars, but a lot of those things are gonna change. I'm watching gas creep up. Of course, we used to pay $2.70, $3 a gallon, but when you get adjusted to $1.52 gas, it becomes, normal to you. So when gas get back up to $2.50, $3, that's gonna be abnormal.
Right.
Well, I can tell you that the gas will go up higher because it's not gonna be a needed necessity, commodity, because a lot of people are gonna have to stay home based on not being able to go to work. Like most people work at home right now. So we're not gonna need.
Tony, you still there?
I'm back, yeah. Sorry.
All right. Nah, you good. Y'all give us a moment.
Sorry. So a lot of people, they're not gonna.
You still breaking up on us, Tony.
Work at home, so.
Yeah, you still breaking up on us, Tony. Y'all give us one moment. We're having a little technical difficulties, but that's how it is when valuable information is being.
Yep, every single time.
But we're gonna bear with it, man. We're gonna bear with it.
All right, now I moved over. Let me see if you okay, Carl. You froze on me. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you crystal clear.
All right, let's try it again. But we was talking about the gas. I'll reiterate the gas being a commodity that's not going to be used a lot, not in demand, because a lot of people are going to work from home. So that price will go up. The more demand it is, most times the gas will go low. So that's basically what I was saying about that. You know, so we definitely have more things to come. You know, economically, you can see that when you have a check that comes in a form of a stimulus, it's not to stimulate your life, it's to stimulate the economy. So that it's kind of like a writing on the wall. It's trying to tell you that the economy is not at its best. So one of the problems that I had was when these businesses are going bankrupt, some could be getting out of here. They understand, hey, you know what, while we're up at a certain amount, let's just get out. We don't want to lose. But I believe that most of those businesses were already felt. And, you know, the COVID just was a scapegoat, because a big multi-million-dollar company or million-dollar company didn't have enough overhead to cover their employees for a year. That business wasn't profitable.
Exactly. Because people are expected to manage their money, to maintain. And if you're a multi-million-dollar business, you should be doing that on a larger scale, like you say, to be able to support your people.
Don't we have bookkeeping? We have people that went to school for bookkeeping. That's their job, to make sure that we're staying in certain ranges. So for me, we've been in this situation since 2019. And it's just we using this as an excuse, or the business using that as an excuse to get goals. And if I was a business and I've seen certain things happen, I think I'll get out of here. I basically, before I filed bankruptcy, which bankruptcy, if they filed in chapter 7 and 11, anyone that shoot dice understands 7 and 11 is good. That means they escape from paying the like, if you're doing church, you don't have to pay the vendors. Whatever the vendors lose, the vendors lose. The big business capitalize on that with 7 and 11. Now, of course, chapter 13, you have to pay everybody back. That's things that I try to wake people up on that. What is 7? What is chapter 11? Well, those are good bankruptcy. You go to court, oh, I don't have to pay you, Paul. I don't have to pay you, Jennifer. I walk out with millions of dollars. Boom, I'm out of it. But chapter 13 is when you have to pay those vendors back for products that you had in your business.
Man, and that's real. Then, back to, with the groceries and things like that. And a lot of people I've been talking to nowadays, I've been seeing people take pictures. People have been sending me photos of their gardens and things like that. It sounds like what you're talking about all together, man, is just becoming more self-sufficient as people, and less dependent on corporations and things like that to give you what you need from day to day.
Right. If for disclaimer purposes, me personally, what I would do, not to spook fear in anybody. That's my disclaimer for what I would do. I basically would get out of town. That's what I actually did. I felt that if I get out of town, I had more of a variety at grocery stores and things like that. It's not compressed as a neighborhood. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So therefore, when the trucks come in, it's more, you know, products in smaller towns than it is in a compressed town. You literally have to do some deep mathematics when you walk into Houston. It says population of 10 million. Do we have enough food for 10 million? Sure we do. But those trucks have to run consecutively, overnight, day and night to get those products in. Now, when COVID hit, it stopped that production line. One truck stopped, then we were out of certain things. So me personally, as a disclaimer, I would get out of town. You know, it's not going to be suitable for the amount of individuals in my family.
Right. Now that definitely make a lot of sense, man. Like you say, when you do the math and the fact that you're dependent on a machine to run seamlessly for your food and clothing and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense, man. And that's something I've been talking to people about. And I've just been trying to get a feel for how people, what they think, their thoughts on it with actually moving out of town. Because, you know, where we're at right now in Houston, you have a lot of people that are stepping up and fighting the fight politically and things like that and going through that whole process. But as we're talking, and the reality may be that things may not be normal. Politics may not run the way they once ran. They may not be able to, they may actually not be able to support the city and the people that are in it. Or even just not want to hear the people or change policies and things like that. So it's a lot of ways you can look at it. But at the end of the day, if your voice don't want to be heard and there's ample land and opportunity, why not consider relocating?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talked about shaking up for the people, but also if that father set a system in play for us to live by, which he, of course, he did, he points people for authority. And if they act up and disobey, they also will be shaken up. So you have not only the function of citizens, you have political systems that will also be shaken up, you know, for the individuals that didn't do what they were, you know, supposed to do on their path. You know what I'm saying? On their path. So they actually will be shaken up also. So me personally, I don't believe none of the political systems is gonna work. You educate them in a college. So if that college is corrupt in any way, you start to bring in corruption. This is the new education, corruption. So you have to pretty much shake up all of it. I'm sorry for the people that are good, you know, say congressmen and law officers and things like that. You may have, you know, people that went into those fields and, you know, I'm going to make change. But if you do the numbers of it, you have 50% that do, and well, just say 49% that do, and 51% that end up being, you know, corrupt, older, or thinking, you know, outside the box, or just don't want to follow the way that the system is. It's going to fail. You know, you can't have an unbalanced scale. So, you know, I believe all of that's going to be shaken up. We just had an earthquake today in California. So we are in a great shakeup, a great awakening. And I believe a lot more here earthquakes are going to come to signify that, hey, I'm trying to wake y'all up, you know.
Gotcha. That's cool, man. And we definitely been waking up, and people gotta, we have to look at things a little different. Because like you say, with everything we're fighting with, it's a lot of people fighting for police reform right now and things like that. And everybody they're talking about a culture within the police department that needs to change. But what you're saying, and what I also understand, is this culture that they're talking about doesn't only lie within the police department. It lies within the political realm, like you say, with the people themselves, where you have the majority who don't want to do right versus the majority who does. And it may be by a small margin, but it's still tipping the scales to leave us where we are today and deal with the issues that we have to deal with. And it is up to us to deal with them.
Right, and with the ones that if, you know, and this is us just generally speaking, if there are individuals in politics or any government and police departments that are ready for that, they have to understand that you have to jump on the side of citizens, you know, that, you know, that's looking for, hey, I just want to be able to do this, do that, do that. So they have a hard job ahead of them, you know, for what they want to do, because they have to go against their department, you know, and that's a hard thing to go against something that you actually pledged into, you know. But at the same time, you may have people that's not going to stop. They're going to want this, and they're going to start, you know, causing issues. And, you know, me, if I was a law enforcement officer, I wouldn't want it to stop. So I would have to hear, but you got chain of command. So really those things I don't get into. But just to give, I got family members that's in, you know, all realms of the political, police officers or whatever. I have family members. You know, I speak to people that in those particular fields, and they actually got a lot of burden in decisions that they don't have to make. You know, personally, I kind of stay out the way. You know, I don't want any problem. You know, I'm not going to cause a problem. You know, a problem causes an effect. So if I give a good problem, give a good effect out, I'm going to give a good effect back. So, you know, I basically stay in my lane, stay out the way. You know, so that's all I would like to, you know, touch on about that. But I believe that if you can't believe that this is happening, it stopped the whole world. Think about the power to actually stop the whole world. I don't believe our creator, you know, basically put COVID here, but it's an awakening for us at the same time. You know, if your father tell you, stop going over there messing with them bees. Them bumblebees don't get you. And we keep as kids going messing with the bumblebee. Sooner or later, you're going to come to the house with a big knot on your eye or somewhere on you because you kept messing with the bees. You know,
right about that.
So that's what I think we're going through with the COVID. You know, we still messing with bees. We want to go out, go to clubs, go out to eat. That stuff is dangerous. And for people that don't know, I have 2 nieces that's been diagnosed with COVID so far this week. I have a brother-in-law. That they called today. He can't breathe. So basically, he, you know, his lungs, they're doing X-rays. So he's basically most likely gonna have COVID. So, you know, I believe people move and want things the way they want it, and you get it.
Man, sorry to hear that, man. And prayers definitely going out for your family, and you know, praying for healing and speedy recovery, man. And it's definitely real. It's definitely real. People should take our precautions with the virus that's going on. But something I personally speak on with everything is, you know, I still feel like we have freedoms and certain rights that are borderline being infringed upon because of everything that's going on with COVID, you know, being forced to wear a mask and things like that. That's my only concern. And the only reason I'm concerned, because I just know, and this is my personal thoughts and opinions, the government that we deal with, a lot of times when they take things, they don't give it back. So that's why I'm just cautious about that. But I still encourage everyone to be safe and take every precaution, because it is real. I had an uncle who he fought it for 28 days and thank God he made it through. So we definitely want to take heed, and, you know, the partying and things like that, it may not be necessary at this time, at least to keep ourselves safe and stop the spread of this thing.
Yeah, it's you know, like I said, I'll basically show you what I do, and basically I'm probably gonna do once again all of these things for the rest of my life. You know,
so that's vitamin D right there.
Say it again.
That was vitamin D.
Yes, and these are things. This is basically, you know, my precaution. That way, I won't be a carrier to be able to give it to you, and you can't give it to me by strengthening that immune system up to the heart and the body. You know, and these are things like this that, you know, you basically probably gonna have to do, which I'm gonna do the rest of my life, because we were a nation that, you know, we didn't have good supplements. You know, most of the fruits don't fruit seeds. So if you know, if you go into your manuscript that was left for us, the leather book, it told us that a seed is in a seed. So if you're eating a fruit that don't have a seed, then that signifies me something's wrong. Now, you know, each his own. This is just my disclaimer. I really don't like things that don't have seeds because it doesn't represent the manual strip that I go by personally for me and my family. You know, but each his own. So I know that we may have been deprived over the years certain vitamins and things like that. You know, what is a fruit that can't produce a fruit? That would be in regard to you calling me, we can't reproduce. So of course that means that Ward would die, which is your last name, and Thomas would die. So those are some of the things that I use knowledge on, mathematical knowledge to say, wow, let me seek out as much fruit that I can that's organic, that have a seed in it. Will it be 100% organic? I don't know. It's no way for me to tell, but as long as it have a seed in it, I have the best percentage of getting the vitamins and things I need. And once again, last on that subject, fruits and vegetables then went up dramatically. You used to be able to go in the store and get 10 oranges for $1. And now you're paying probably about a pound, you know, 260, 240 a pound for oranges. That lets me know that, you know, it's something wrong. Why is these particular fruits, you know, so pricey at this particular time? So I'll take our precautions and, you know, and make sure a fruit has a seed.
Right. You know, and like you say, strengthen yourself from within and take care of yourself. Man, appreciate that knowledge, man. So, and like you say, we have been deprived. You know, there are other countries where you can walk outside, pick fruits off trees. I know it was that way when I was in Puerto Rico. People had mango trees, coconut trees, banana trees in their backyard. And that's not something that's common in this nation. You know, so that's
and real quick, that's one of the things I like to tell people. You know, me and Jennifer, we went hunted down trees that produce seeds because, you know, I believe we're going to be going through this for at least 10 years, minimum 10 years. So within 10 years, that tree pretty much will be fruiting. You will have the things that you need. A fruit tree is insurance. It's a lifelong insurance for you, your kids, kids, and on down. You know, as long as you maintain the property, you know, where you're living, or even if someone do buy it, it's maintaining someone else's health or, you know, nutrition, or, you know, a lady that stayed on my grandma's street, she used to always call me Anthony. And she was like, Anthony, go to the store for me. And I would go to the store for her. I'll buy what she wanted. She'll let me keep that quarter because what she wanted was 25 cents. And she said, when you get back, I'm gonna give you some God candy. And she would always come out the house with a sandwich bag full of fruit.
And that was your payoff. That's what's up.
Yeah, the one part in the bag of fruits was God candy. So, you know, that's what I got, you know, as I was growing up. That God candy was just fruits, orange, apple, and peaches and stuff like that.
Hey, and man, you're absolutely right, because I'm trying to get back to eating my fruits and vegetables on a daily and making that more of my diet than anything else. And every time I do bite into a fruit, orange, apple, anything like that, man, I'm just reminded of how delicious that taste is. And it can't be replaced by all the Skittles and things like that. Those are treats, they nice, but man, when you bite into that apple or that fruit or whatever, man, that's a wonderful feeling, and it's a natural taste, like you're saying. And I can see why she called it God's candy. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, and you know, we're in a point where you have to harden your body. Like some women may not like a guy that's, you know, real buff, but for me, in being 48 years old, and what we're gonna go through, you know, we don't all get down to pray at one time, you know, to the Creator. I have to harden that body to be able to go through what we're gonna go through. You know, it's like I said, I could talk more on the call, but I don't like to make people panic.
No, you good. You good. We understand. It's just all about preparation, man, and conditioning, because it's a marathon.
You're gonna have to use discernment. You're gonna have to learn what you learned from the spiritual part of it. And if that thing is telling you to do something, if that little itch telling you to do something, you're gonna have to start paying attention, because the world that you knew back there in 2020, it doesn't exist.
Right.
And if you, as soon as you wake up, you can start your new life, and it'll be, you know, it'll be, I don't even know the word for it, but it'll be spectacular. You know, you won't have all the stress that you have, you know, but it will be spectacular. But I wish people would listen to that little voice in their head and start making moves toward the future. You know, I know people understand, if you go to Fry's Electronics, there's nothing in the store. There's nothing in there. There's no computers, there's no cell phones, there's nothing in the store. There's no program. So I think right now we're on, you know, with the stores closing early, yes, it's excuses you can give me, but I'll give you an excuse. Well, what if it's running out of everything that you had in 2020? What if we're closing early so we can stretch out, you know, vitamins? You know, we close at 5, 7, we'll have more for the next day. So for me, if you look at it, I believe we buying time. We just buying time.
Man, brother, that's why I love talking with you, man. You always expand my mind to the fullest with your thought process and the knowledge and wisdom that you share, man. I love it. And it makes a lot of sense. Everything you're saying makes sense. It adds up mathematically, like you're saying. Because we're not seeing those trucks come in as often as we used to see. So like you say, it's just about being comfortable.
And I have friends that run those trucks. I have family members that run those trucks, and they're not running as frequently as they used to.
Yeah. Like you say, that manuscript is all in there, you know.
It's all in there from the natural medicines. It's all in there. It's all in there. So, you know, and inside my manual, it talks rough. It said heed the fool. So, you know, when a manuscript like that tells me heed the fool, I'll pay attention, because I don't want to be there.
Exactly.
You know, if it, you know,
you can model yourself after that character that you would like to be in that manuscript, because it's almost mathematical. You know what I'm saying? Cause and effect, like you said. You receive what you put out, man. Man, it's lovely, man, talking to you, man. When can we see the show again, man?
Well, like right now, I'm still working for my insurance for my family. So
gotcha.
I have to kind of prioritize what I do when I do it. I have to make sure that they're first. At this particular time, we're at war. You know, the COVID-19 is a bioweapon. You know, you can say, oh, I had COVID-19, and then you okay. But then we have flu season creeping up. So with flu season, with COVID-19, we're looking at a mutation. You know, and any person that went to, you know, just study the basics of, you know, medical field, understand that if you have this particular hepatitis and this person touching with hepatitis, it didn't mutate. Now you have a new strain. So we have 3 woes. We're about to go through the second woe right now, because people wanted to go out early. So, you know, you're about to have probably another shutdown, because remember, prayer can change anything. So I can't say 100% certainty that we won't have another shutdown. But will those people be ready again? Will they be ready to force up on mayors and your political party to open back up? Sure they will. Sure they will. And then that leads me to say, hey, that Bible is accurate because here again, we're going to have a third world. The manuscript is very, very, it said, describe in detail. Detail. That was a signal for me in Revelation when it said describe in detail. You know, so and I see it in detail, period. And as it's hitting my family members, you know, that's even more, you know, detrimental to me because I'm like, whoa, you know, you may not believe, but I have individuals that's, you know, so
it hit close to home then, man. And
yeah, and I always tell my buddy that I says nothing startles people until they get close to home. And then they wave that I didn't believe, now I do. Well, you waited too late. You see what I'm saying? So you have a balance right now where you have an opportunity to go get some measly vitamins and take the budget from something else and shift into your gardening, shift into things like that. You know, you have a lot of time if we shut down. Oh, real quick, I went down 1960, and this is an area where, you know, just say incomes is 150 above, $150 a year. It was daycare shut down. It was all kind of the places where people would open their big strip center, all shut down. I mean, cold. Okay, those individual people still have to pay their mortgages on those strip centers. Half those strip centers is not paid cash.
Right.
You know? And so you can look at the market, you can look at the housing market, which will be affected. They said that half the individuals didn't go to work. Well, when you know, taught as a kid, you should always have an egg nest. You know, and that egg nest will cover you for those notes that, you know, that you wouldn't be able to get on.
No, my bad. But yeah, for sure. And you can be, and like you say, it takes time when you're talking about that mortgage industry. It takes about 4 months of missed payments before homes starting to go into foreclosure. So we're right around that time because with COVID, we've been on lockdown for almost 3 or 4 months now, right? At least I believe in Texas. So yeah, you're exactly right. I do. And like you say, I hope not, because like you say, anything is possible with the power of prayer, but with the mathematics and everything, it's trending that way. So that's definitely something we want to look out for.
And Carl, most people have an opportunity now to put those notes on the back end of the mortgage, but at the same token, do you want to battle again? Do you want to go to war with debt? Do you want to fight that debt again? They actually can relieve themselves right now because half the people work at home. So it's no more excuses. I live here, work over there, here and there, all that excuses that people made. You know, you can actually right now jump out of things and jump into a unstressful life. You know, but
we losing
kill the things that you really want. You can actually get out. You can start taking down. You know, going from a 3-bedroom to a 2. If you know, you can spare us the 1 room based on how many kids you got. At some point, when we grew up, we had 1 bedroom. We had 2 bunk beds in 1 room. So that was 4 people in 1 room. And you know, I believe we didn't got spoiled over that. Some people income, you know, or it's not at the rate of affording a 3-bedroom. It's not. You don't make enough to afford that because as soon as you get a job, people don't realize how much you make a week. Oh, I make $500 a week. What about the food you spent to go to work? What about the gas that you initially used to get to work? You have to mathematically subtract that out of that $500 a week. So you really don't make $500. You can write anything on paper, but you have to realize that you have a startup cost. Every week when you go to work, you got a startup cost. If you got to get your uniforms clean, you're using water, you're using detergent, you're using all those things. So if you look at an average person that makes $500, $600 a week, you might as well take $150 off the top. because that goes into the home for your startup costs. If you have you need brake jobs, oil, all those things. So if you got a person that makes $500 a week, after I do the math, you really don't make 500. You make about $320 a week because you have startup costs.
Yeah, and like you say, this is a time where you can downsize and you can be free of those things. That's that mental and that spiritual freedom, you know. So get out, get you a little bit of land. Like you say, if things keep trending the way they are and we're working from home, you're a lot more mobile now.
Right. And I guarantee you, when you decompress of all that debt, you will go outside and you will take a deep breath that you never had in your life. You'll take one of the deep breaths that you did when you were a kid, and you're gonna really breathe in the breath of life.
That's that peace.
Because you're not stressed out with having things. And when I was a little kid, we watched Sesame Street. And they had one Sesame Street episode where everybody caught mine-itis. Mine. And they had to heal themselves from mine-itis. The whole Sesame Street caught mine-itis. Wow. And Grover, the one living in the garbage can, he's the one started mine-itis. And it's this world we live in where it's a selfish world. Oh, let me take a selfie. Me. It's no different from mine-itis. You see what I'm saying? Instead of us coming together, I don't care what color, white, Spanish, black, and saying, hey, Carl, I have extra watermelons I grew in my garden. Okay, Tony, no problem. Hey, man, I have some extra milk. Would you like that type of lifestyle right there? It's what's going to get us through these next. I just tell the people, don't wait for the second wall. We already had the first one. Don't wait for the second one, and don't wait for the third. Because when you get to that third one, it's like, strike one, strike two, and strike three, you out. Period. There's no more strikes for you to hit. So you can downsize now if it's, and it's strange to say if it's in your budget, but yet people fighting a budget that's not meant for their pay scale. People really need to analyze their pay scale. They do not make what they make. Let me do it, and I'll tell you exactly what you make.
For sure, man. Definitely a time, because this and what you're saying, this mine-itis, this me, this was pushed on us by society. This society that we live in, this capitalistic society of get as much as you can, that pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality. Huh? You're breaking up.
Okay. So I was saying, I didn't hear what you were saying. Go ahead and start off.
Now I was saying, that whole me mentality, it was really conformed by this nation that we live in, this country that we live in, of pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you get it the best way you know how. And people started getting that mentality where I did it, you can do it. And then people wanted to follow that trend. That's where you had a living, trying to keep up with the Joneses and things like that, living above your means. People get upset when Jordan say, I didn't make Jordans for the low income. I made them for the suburban kids that can afford them. But it makes sense, and we have people, mothers and fathers, that break their backs every day at work to make sure that their children
let's break that down. Let's go in and not protect Jordan, but let's break it to two levels.
Okay.
Because everything in life have two levels. Well, Jordan said, he said that if it's quoted correctly, and he said it's not made for the lower class person, people, he's trying to tell you, I don't want you to go bust your back for these shoes.
Right.
So we have to protect him. And if it's true, he protected himself.
Right.
Now, because you fell in love with something, then that's up to you. But when your light bill not paid or whatever bill or things you're not able to get, don't go blame Jordan because his shoes $200, $300, $400.
Exactly.
Whatever the cost is. He made it for a particular, if he said he made it for a particular income type of individual.
Exactly.
And he probably made it for basketball players. I don't know.
That make the most sense. Yeah. But that's just that a mentality that we have within certain cultures, that we sometimes put ourselves in that position, and we have to look at ourselves in the mirror sometimes and really be honest with ourselves and say, is that something I really need? What's the consequences of me purchasing that versus paying the light bill or this, that, and the other? So yeah, man, I definitely get it. And man, Tony, I truly appreciate you for coming on and sharing this knowledge with us, man. It's good information. I think it's
we're gonna let's take it on out till 9:30 since we 9:23.
okay.
Let's just go ahead and take it on. And
you good. You good.
A little bit more so we can remove a little bit.
And that's what I was getting. Because if you got more, we definitely want to hear more, man.
Oh yeah, I definitely, like I say, I'm
We losing you again.
you hear me, Carl?
Yeah, there you go. You back.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. But I'm not, like I say, the doomsday type of individual.
Right.
But if I told you something was coming, let's go to the manuscript. There's this guy, his name was Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And this teacher told Peter, you're gonna deny me 3 times.
We losing you again. Hey Tony, we losing you again if you can hear me. Sorry, y'all.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me back up, y'all. Okay, there we go. Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir, you good.
Okay, so sorry about that. Always when it's good information.
Right.
But we go to the manuscript, and for the people that do believe in the manuscript, there's this guy named Peter. And the teacher, he was a teacher with wisdom. Mm-hmm. And he would tell Peter, he says, this teacher knew he was going to be sentenced to death for things that he didn't do. He was persecuted. He was whooped. He was everything. He got done worse than every race in the world.
Right.
And he carried his own burden on his back. And he looked over to the right and he said to Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times before that rooster crow. And Peter say, oh no, teacher, I would never do that to you. Well, he denied him 1 time. Do you know that man? No, because he knew that guy was going to be sentenced to death.
Right.
And so 2nd time, you know this guy, no, 3rd time, he watched his teacher. He literally watched his teacher be put to death. So for us to reach 100% of the people in the world, no, of course not. Mm-hmm. But for those people who have that inkling, a little small inkling that says something is wrong, I need to do something. I need to get out of here. You need to follow that inkling. Mm-hmm. For the people who wanted to do crops or wanted to start a garden, or just wanted to open a business where it was self-sanitizing, where you could help people, sanitize a building and create $1 million business. Mm-hmm. This is the time, because in July is what we call the entering of hell, and it's things that we've done. We've done this. Nobody done this to us. We done it.
Right.
And so the things that we done, you scared to walk through the valley of shadow of death and fear no evil. But we done this. Nobody done this to us. We had the right to say, you know what? I swear myself in, I'm gonna be a good person. And that's all we had to be. Everybody had that opportunity. You have an opportunity. I'll put it like this. This is a better scenario. An older guy come to me, he said, if you work in a field, in a business, and that business make buckshots, and those buckshots go into 12 gauge shots, and it shoots someone and it kills them, you, as well as everybody else there, should have had the knowledge to be aware to ask me, what do we do here? What do we make here? And you will be, as you would also be, if that gun kills somebody, you have to answer for that. Because you had, in day one, you had the opportunity to say, you know what? When you ask that person, what do we do here? Oh, we manufacture bullet chickens. You had the opportunity to walk out. You had the opportunity to walk out. But yet, for the love of money, for the love of currency, you stayed. Could have went worked at McDonald's and made less money.
Right.
And been just a little bit more on the safer side. Is there a safer side? No, there's no safe side. But you know that weapon can kill. We don't know if the weapon killed, protecting the family. We don't know that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about one that used it for bad. But you had that opportunity to say, how you doing, Paul? Yes, I like the job, but I like to know what we do here. Well, Tony, we manufacture bullet shells.
Right.
You had that opportunity right there to say, well, thanks for the opportunity, but I'm gone. You understand that, Cole?
We have to fully involve ourselves. You know what I'm saying? To where, like you say, we fully understand what we're getting into. We can't, just because it has a dollar amount on it, 25 an hour, 30 an hour, 40 an hour, we're jumping through hoops to get this job, but we may not be realizing the consequences on the other side of what we're manufacturing or producing, or it can even be media. And what type of media is your network putting out that you're working for and you're supporting it, and you're helping push it out.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be hypocritical.
No, you're right.
But we all have things that we learn from.
Right. And I understand where you're coming from. And it's just being aware, self-aware. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Being fully aware of yourself and what you're getting into. And that's a part of preparation.
For me, if you can't walk into the store and realize that this price is going up, seeds going up, if you can't see the loss of the dollar, 4 bags of potato chips used to be, quarter piece, and now they $1.39. So same little bags, you can see the price of the dollar.
Right. It's almost like walking outside. You see the clouds rolling in. You see the dark clouds in the horizon.
Yeah, you have to understand that the price of the dollar will deteriorate.
Right.
And so a person that has $1 million right now, they have $1 million, but their purchasing power is only $500,000. You understand that? So if you can go out and be a millionaire today, but your purchasing power will only be as powerful as $500,000. So if you have a 401k with 20,000 in it, you only got $10,000. See, purchase.
We're losing you again, Tony.
Yeah. So we gonna. That's basically pretty much what I wanted to say. Like I say to all the people who actually want to do something. Once again, if you feel that little inkling, please act on that. Act on it right now.
Yes, sir.
Get out, some land, move around. Think about your welfare of your kids, and think about the peace that you'll have. Being out on 2-3 acres is peaceful. it's peaceful. Sometimes you look in the street when a truck come around, you're like, who is that? What are you coming around here for? And it's a public street, because you be in peace.
Right. I got you, man. That sounds wonderful. Hey, and I love what you're saying about moving on that inkling. You know, it's a great time to if you're thinking about a business or anything like that, it may be a great time. And speaking of which, man, I want to shout out to my boy Jay Rilla, man. He's the owner and founder of Stay Live Clothing. That's what you see me wearing here today. You can check him out at staylive.clothing on Instagram. So that's at staylive.clothing on Instagram. Man, y'all check him out, man. He got a new fashion and it has a good look to it. So I just wanted to put that in there, man, because that's what
good. I like that.
Appreciate you, man. And shout out again to Jay Rilla.
Yeah, it looks good. The shirt looks good, nicely pressed. You know, everything looks good on it. And if they want to, you know, follow me, I'm Tony Thomas. My face is on my thing on Facebook. That's basically our platform I use. If you want to follow Jaybird Jen, hers is Jaybird. You know, JYBIRD. You know, we do different posts. We talk about things. I post things that I talk about. And, you know, I'm not hypocritical. I do the things I talk about.
That's for sure, man. Again, thank you for coming on. And it's always a blessing speaking with you. You always full of information.
So I think we probably at the end. So we said enough. So yeah, but you know, we'll come back anytime, man. Have me back next time. We probably bring on Jaybird.
Okay, cool. We're looking forward to it, man. Again, peace and blessings. I just want to recap and close out on everything we spoke about today.
Okay.
And and this is me speaking to the people out there, man. I love y'all. And I brought Tony on today to share this information because I think it's something that as we talk, it expands my thought process in my mind. And it helps me realize a new reality. And it's not a bad reality. But one thing we touched on is that manuscript and the creator and the fact that if you believe it, there is someone at the head that's in charge that laid a particular order that we're not necessarily following right now. So let's
and one thing, Carl, one thing is always remember, you could be a slave in the mind.
Right.
You could be a slave in the mind. You have to realize that those things that you want and things that you don't need and make you go out and push that credit card to the limit. That's slavery because you can't control yourself. First, you have to fix you, you know, and you can get out of that mental slavery. Right. And once you free yourself from the mental slavery, then everything else will follow.
For sure. And I just want to say this real quick. You know, it's a lot of people that I work with, do a lot of work with, beautiful people that we're going down. We're addressing our elected officials, letting our voices be heard of how we would like to be represented. Again, for those who do believe, let's take it to the highest court, the heavenly court, and let's speak with the Creator. And first tell him, shoot, we're sorry for our part in all of this, and ask him to order our steps and to guide us through this time. Because I believe he'll get us there. He led Moses through the promised land, through the wilderness. He saw the promised land, led Abraham and his people to the promised land, and everything was established from there. And then we are where we're here today. And it's a lot of, you know, things that we did that brought us here. So let's acknowledge that part of it too. And let's acknowledge our Creator. Again, love having you on, Tony. Thanks, Jaybird, for tuning in as well. We look forward to having you on in the future. I wish your family well. And hey, thank you for taking the time out because like you say, you're prioritizing right now. And I thank you for being here and giving us this information, man. And look forward to it. Many blessings to everybody out there. Again, like I tell you, I've been telling you from day one, if you have that burning desire inside, it's something telling you to move, that you want to move on, move. act on it
Move.
today. That's what Tony been telling us all day today. And, you know, I end the show like that every week. Move. The time is now. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Right.